I'm Trina. Today, my sister will be helping me make borscht.
Hi, and I'm Oksana, and this is one of the most popular dishes we're going to be making tonight is borscht.
Okay, so this is kind of the ingredients, or this is the ingredients. This in here is cabbage, and then this will go in the soup while it's cooking. This is beets, and it's raw. We have a full bowl of them. And here we have shredded tomatoes. It's pureed. And here I have onion that's really thinly shredded because my sister's husband does not like onions, so we did it really thinly. And then we have carrots. And then this two items will be frying. Here we got potatoes. We'll be cooking those in the soup. That's my sister's kitty. Okay, and then we have here prepared meat. It's pork loin. It works best for this kind of borscht. And then here we got the vegeta. That will be on the recipe of mine. It's just an all-purpose seasoning. It has a little bit of everything. It tastes best in borscht. And then salt. I got a pan prepared for the onion and carrots. And the water is boiling for the soup. And then I have the extra pot for the beets that will be cooking. Okay, so we're waiting for the water to heat up right now to put in the meat.
The water has just boiled just enough for me to put the meat in. So I'll put that in. And I will go ahead and stir it a little bit. And I will also salt it just a tad bit. And then stir it. And just let it cook for about 15-20 minutes on a low, I would say medium low heat. And then in this one, in the pan, I will go ahead and get the butter, for the butter to melt, for me to fry the carrots and the onions, and also I will also put the tomatoes there. And I'll also get the water running for the. And also, I'm waiting for the water to heat for the
Look at her silly cat.
Mommy, you cannot be here, sweetie.
Wash your hands. So we got the meat boiling now. A little bit. The foamy stuff, I believe it's just like from the fat, and that can be picked off very easily. So we're gonna go ahead and pick off all. It's like foam. Look like, but it's from the meat. It's like fat, I believe. Excess fat. Okay, so in here we got the butter already going. I'm gonna stir in the carrots and the onion. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm gonna start with the onion first, so it can be a little bit brown first. And I'm going to turn down the heat just a little because it's a little too high right now. Okay.
You need to put it a little bit higher. And then while the meat is boiling still, I will go ahead and stir it and put it on a lower heat just a little bit and pick off all the foam completely. Turn it down a little bit.
Did I just turn the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can turn the onions up a little bit more.
Okay, so if you go ahead and look in here, we have no more foam basically, and the meat is about done. It's all white and pretty now.
You'll go ahead and put some carrots,
So
just a little bit in here,
some raw carrots.
and stir it. And now put a little bit of vegeta. And she'll also add some vegeta as the seasoning.
Russian's popular seasoning. They sell it everywhere though. You can buy it off eBay, from Amazon, anywhere.
And I'll also go ahead and stir it just a little bit. This is what gives the taste for the meat. And the onions are about cooked. No, we'll go ahead.
Okay, so now we'll go ahead and add the carrots in here, so they can get browned up a little bit too. Okay, and we'll turn a little bit higher of a heat for the carrots here so they start cooking faster. Okay, so now we'll do the process of the beets. We have them sliced very, very thinly. They're super thin, as you can see. They're just like, I don't know, they're thin. Okay, and then now we'll put them in the water so they can cook.
Which is in a separate bowl from the Borsch. And I will go ahead and stir it just a little bit. And also I will salt the beets just a little bit while they're cooking. I'll go ahead and mix them. And then I will mix the Borsch, which is the meat and their water, carrots, and vegeta. And now I will drain the water, whatever left in the potatoes. And I will go ahead and add already the potatoes into the soup.
Meanwhile, we got the carrots almost ready, and we're going to go ahead and add our tomato puree, almost I'd say. Okay, we're gonna add that in there. And we'll give it a few mixes. Some festive colors we have with the tomatoes and the onions and the carrots. We don't cook this for very long, but just a few minutes.
About 2 minutes.
This?
With the 10 minutes with the tomatoes in there. As the beets are cooking, you need to mix them.
Okay, so those are starting to boil now.
I will turn it down a little bit on the heat. Put it on a lower heat to cook. And as they're cooking, I'm also gonna stir it a little bit, and I'm gonna cover it so that way it will cook faster. And then we have the potatoes already in the soup, so this is how it looks. This looks like a plain soup for now until we add the beets into it. That's what gives the color for the borscht to turn red. And at this time, I'll also cover the borscht so the potatoes are cooking just a little faster. So this is already done completely cooking. I will go ahead and turn it off. Which has done the tomatoes and the carrots and the onions are completely cooked. I'm just gonna go ahead and set it aside, cooked, so it will be put right when borscht is completely cooked and done. It'll just be put on the end. It's on the end when it's cooked. And this is still, the beets are cooking. So it takes usually, since there are from garden, my mom's garden, they take a little bit faster to cook because they're fresh and they're young beets. So it's about, I would say, 15-20 minutes. So they're about done. And I will go ahead and open. I'll also cover the beets just for a little bit. And I will go ahead and stir the potatoes.
Okay, so we're about halfway done now. We just gotta let the potatoes to cook fully because they are raw right now still.
I will go ahead and chop the potatoes with a knife.
Okay.
Fork. No.
Okay. Okay, so we'll just take it out and poke it. And it's definitely raw because it's barely going in right. So they're still really hard. When they're soft, then that means that they're ready. But right now they're still really raw. Okay. So the beets should be another about 5 minutes, I think, right?
About, yeah. 5 minutes. Go ahead and try the beets.
Okay.
Now we'll go ahead and turn up the heat just a little bit for the borscht to cook the potatoes. And at this time we'll also taste the beets to
Still
see
raw.
if they're ready.
They're ready, but they're not. Pretty raw.
And how we would tell the beets are about ready is that the beets will start to be really soft. Need to cover it in the cover. So to speed up the process of the beets to cook, I'll also put a lid on both in a little, I would say medium for both to cook.
We have it about on a 9 to cook for both. Hi, Tommy. It's my sister's little kitty. Loves to be center of attention. Anything we do, he comes right to us. Yeah, Tom Tom? Okay. Okay, so we have the beets here way boiling faster now.
And this, the borscht, which is the potatoes and the meat and the carrots, have kind of came to about a boil, and the potatoes are halfway ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the just a I would say a handful of cabbage, which I'm gonna go ahead and add into the water, into this pot.
Okay, so a few more minutes also on
Also
both
give it a
items.
taste to see how it is. You can also add a little bit as it's
Okay, so I will give it a taste test for the flavor to see if we need to add any right now while it's cooking. It brings out the flavors and everything when it's the right amount of salt, or the Vegeta stuff. I'll give it a little bit of mix and I will sample it. I think a little bit more regular salt. So I will put a few more pinches of salt in here.
Go ahead and turn that down and this down.
So and I'll turn them both down a little because they're boiling extra hard now.
You don't want anything. You don't want any of the ingredients to overcook
Before it's ready.
before it's completely ready.
Should we leave the lid off then?
Now you want to kind of, it's about done. You want to go ahead and take off the lids from both, and you want to go ahead and try the beets again, and then try the potatoes to see if it's going to be ready.
I think about 2 more minutes and it should be ready.
How about the potatoes?
Okay, we'll try the potatoes. I think the same amount of time, just 2-3 more minutes the most. It's pretty soft now. They're like falling apart. That's almost ready. I'll just check some of the bigger ones also. Okay.
Put them on lower heat. So they're cooked. About you though?
Okay.
Taste the beets.
Yeah, they should be good. Should we turn them off for now?
They're good?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go ahead and turn them off and get a spoon of cookie.
Okay, so the beets are ready now, so we'll go ahead and turn them off. And then the beets will add 2 of these tablespoons of vinegar. You won't really taste the vinegar at all, but it will be for the flavor. For the flavor and for it just brings out the beets color and the beets flavor more. So I'm gonna go ahead and add
and turn it off.
Add 2 of those. 1, 2. And give it a mix and then cover this up.
And you also want to turn the beets completely off already and just cover them for about, I would say about 10 minutes. So that way the color would definitely bring out from the beets. Taste the potatoes. One last taste, one last sample she's going to do for the potatoes to see if they're ready.
Yeah.
So the potatoes are completely ready, so it's all done. She's going to go ahead and add
our mixture
into the borscht while we are waiting for the beets to soak in the vinegar.
Okay. So this just goes right into our soup now. I think this is where on the nutrition label that I made, this is probably where all the fat comes in, is from the butter of this soup that we fried the onions and the carrots and the tomatoes with. I think that's where all the fat comes in. And now if you come here, come on. Take a look at the color. It's about a color of a chicken noodle soup, if you'd say. So we're gonna bring it to a boil now, and then the beets should be ready.
You don't necessarily need to bring it to a boil, just a little bit.
Okay, we should taste test it too.
Turn up the heat a little bit. And there's a chunk of tomato in there. You want to take it out?
We'll take this chunk of tomato out.
Sometimes when you shred it, not all the pieces get shredded into just tiny pieces. So I went and go ahead and took out the tomato, big parts of it out.
Okay, we'll do one more test.
Turn it up a little bit more. You don't quite need to bring it to a boil since it's all done. So she wouldn't go ahead and...
I think after we add the beets, it should be enough salt. So don't over salt your soup.
I'm going to go ahead and add the beets.
Okay.
Just turn it off. So it just kind of boiled a tiny, tiny bit on the soup, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. It's all finished, and the beets are completely done. I'm going to go ahead and
pull some out first. We'll pour out some of the juice after. If you start putting it together, it just will splatter everywhere. So it's easier just to take everything out singly.
Go ahead and mix it as you're doing it.
Okay.
That's what gives it color.
So now it's starting to give its rich red color. Just slightly, but when we add the juice from the beets that's been sitting for a few minutes, it'll make the borscht completely red. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to top off it with the beet juice, which is salty. Just fill it up.
And sometimes you don't necessarily need to use all the beets or all the water that you have prepared.
Okay, we'll give it one more last stir, taste test it, and then it'll be ready. A little bit more salt. Give it one more last stir. Perfect. Okay, so our borscht is ready now. Pretty rich color. We got some chunks in here. All my family likes really chunky, so we make it really heavy, but if preferred, you can make it very light and just do more juice and less potato and meat in here. And then after serving it, you usually add a few tablespoons of sour cream in your dish. It just brings out the flavors and everything, and it tastes good, and that's what we usually put sour cream in for. That's it. Thank you for watching our video.